She's got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
On the money for the touchdown. The future is now, and so are the playoffs.
Nobody does it like me.
In 2023, the young Packers sent a message.
I'm on top of this.
Left side.
Intercepted.
Racing towards the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
But the ending proved that this story is not finished.
This remarkable season for this young Green Bay Packers team has come to a close.
And as for this season,
it really doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It's about what we're building towards and trying to accomplish in the future.
time to write another chapter.
The team is in control of their destiny. Whatever you want to be about that year, you know, you hold the pen to your future, and everything's out in front of us for us to take. We just have to do the taking.
That brings us to now, training camp.
I'm a firm believer that you can never have enough competition. When our guys are pushing one another, they're going to get better.
Camp competition will breed success, which is exactly what the Packers are out for.
Pocket collapses, sack is made, right up the gut.
We are a new wave. We're a new culture out here. When you got a talented bunch of guards and you bring guys that truly love each other, the bond, you know, can never be broken.
Let's go, man. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Now having a bond and understanding each other's why is more like a family. And when you're friends like a family, you go to war any day.
This Packer, whole lot different. We young and turd. This Packers team is very special. We just have a lot of talent, and I think the sky's the limit.
Romeo, I mean, this year he's going to have a breakout year and really make a huge name for himself.
Sleeping grab, touchdown!
He's playing great. It's just the way he attacks the field, his mindset. He runs every route like he's, you know, the #1 receiver. Whether he's the first read, the last read, like you can just tell in his mindset that he wants the ball, and he runs the routes like that. And he's playing very fast right now. He's getting in and out of his breaks, and we all know how great his hands are. So, you know, I love the way Romeo's playing, and, you know, I told him the other day I got to keep doing a good job trying to get him the ball, and he's playing very well right now, and I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Last season, Romeo Doubs reeled in a career-best 9 touchdowns, while eclipsing 900 receiving yards. And he finished with a bang, posting 234 playoff yards to rank top 3 among all NFL wideouts. And now the third-year receiver is looking to pick up right where he left off.
Caught for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs!
He kind of ended the season last year playing at a pretty high level, and he's really continued that in camp so far. So it has been really cool watching Romeo over these last 3 seasons. The steps he makes every single year.
He takes coaching. You can coach Rome really hard. He's very hard on himself. He expects a lot of himself. But just where he started from to where he is now, I think it is night and day.
He goes about it the right way. He comes in, I mean, he catches 100 balls. I mean, he catches more after practice. His attention to detail is very on point.
Doubs is there, leaping grab, touchdown, touchdown!
I have a really good feel for Rome and where he's going to be at on his routes. You know, Rome's a guy that, I mean, I probably work the most with in the offseason, being that we're both out there in California. So we have a great feel for each other, and the way he's running these routes and creating space and getting open, he makes it really easy for a quarterback.
Mic check, mic check. Jay Reed on the mic today, a.k.a. Bird, a.k.a. 11. Where you at, Grant?
I don't even know where the camera is. We looking at.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know where y'all at, but I'm just letting y'all know. I'm trying to find that camera for real, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna find it for tonight, though. You gotta help me, though. Come on, man. I can't hear y'all. No, man. Come on. Shout out my guy, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Just got engaged, man. Doing it big, the biggest. Let's do it, man.
I love you, Jay Reed.
Hey, Pack is back, baby.
The Pack is back.
Pack is back, man. Hey, you got some Gatorade? I don't Gatorade all day. Let me rate this. See what this talking about.
Go for it.
That's a solid 9 right there. I think I found the camera. There you go right there. There you go right there. I found it. Why they got me blocking you, bro? Ah! Oh!
Nice work. I'm gonna start hitting this one. Jay Reed.
I found it. I think I found it. It was over there somewhere. Woo! Ball game. Woo! Let's do it. That's a wrap, man.
We've had pretty mild winds, I would say, and today was, one of the storm, I guess, blew over, was coming in, but one of those Green Bay days where, yeah, it's a tough wind. So
it was wild. I mean, you guys were kicking the ball and it was going this way and just kind of like died.
Yeah, I think we got, one set going with the wind and then one set against it, and we had a good amount of time to kind of warm up, feel it out. Did the best we could with just trying to figure out where the wind was going, and like you said, sometimes the wind was gusting, sometimes it would stop, so just made it an interesting day for sure.
Do you kind of don't even count how you did today with the wind? You're not going to see something crazy like that, or is it still?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Greg can tell you better. I played 1 year in the league. I don't think the wind in a stadium would be that strong. Typically, it'll come in, kind of bounce around, and it might swirl, might be a little more, side to side, but it's still really important kicks, and those matter a lot, and you expect to, no matter how deep it is, how close it is, how windy it is, you expect to go in and perform. So it's one of those things I need to go watch. I didn't like one of the hits. The other two I didn't mind, actually, so just got to go watch it and see how we did.
How would you compare that wind to like the Giants game last year? You're saying how it's a little different in the stadium.
Yeah,
it was pretty windy.
It was. I would say it's still probably not on that same level, but definitely close to. Yeah, I don't know the exact numbers and stuff. Today just felt a little more just stiff in the face. So the Giants was a little more crosswind, but like you said, it was a windy game, but maybe not right there. So
you've said right in the past that it's almost harder kicking here than it is in a stadium because you get the wind coming off the Hudson Center, right? Like, so is it hard to kind of be like, am I kicking good when you're kicking in a place that really isn't the same as what you do in a game?
Yeah, I think something I like is the practice field. It is a little more difficult to kick over there. I think because when you get in Lambeau, it's maybe not as windy, and the practice field it's very open, and so that wind coming off the bay or wherever it's coming from will come in, and sometimes it does bounce off. So I think where you guys stand on the side, it's kind of the opposite of what we feel in the field sometimes. So just kind of going out there early and figuring out where that wind's going is really important.
How do you tune out the competition part of it, like the day-to-day horse race of it?
Yeah, I think I've always been pretty good about just staying in my own lane, focused on myself and what I can do to get better. And it's great to have other people in the room too, and you can both can benefit from it. So it's something you got to embrace, enjoy, and yeah, I like staying in my own lane, so it works out good.
Greg said he doesn't look at your kicks. Are you the same way when he's kicking? Are you just focusing on yourself, or are you watching him?
Yeah, typically I just getting ready for my kick, so just locked in myself.
What's it been like between you two behind the scenes? So obviously you're competing, but what's the relationship like behind the scenes?
It's been great. No, it really has. Greg's an awesome guy, and he's kind of a little bit older, a step older. So he's not maybe my older brother, but he's been in the league, and so he can kind of guide. He's got some good stories about the league too, so a lot of fun. And like I said, you get to learn from him, and he gets to learn from me. It's a good thing.
I can imagine it's kind of a competition like this, one-on-one throughout all of camp, can feel kind of lonely for a guy in your position. But having a brother like Daniel, how much does that help? And do you talk with him during training camp? And what's that like through this?
Yeah. I think we're both going through some pretty long days, so we don't have as much free time maybe to talk. But we get on the phone still and talk. And I think just because you're competing doesn't make it a lonely situation. I think we get along great. I think the entire room gets along great. So it's kind of one just group trying to get better each and every day, and just like we said, focus on ourselves when we get on the field. So.
Have you gotten any feedback where the saddle might be at, like, as you go, or is it just going to be at the end?
Yeah, no. I think that's every kick matters. Go through preseason, and we'll see where it all falls.
Do you pay attention to where your stats are throughout training camp, or are you just focused solely on your process?
No, yeah, I'm definitely, I'd say, more process driven. I think results take care of itself if you stick to your process, and so just kind of come in, see what I can do to get better that day, 1% better, stick to my routine, the things I do before practice, after practice, and then the next day we'll get up and do the same thing.
We broke it down. The day after that I left and had surgery, came back, and it's just been recovery ever since. We originally were gonna kind of just try to come back after the Browns game, but I'm doing really good. I'm feeling really healthy, ahead of the protocol, so it feels good.
Torn pectoral muscle sounds like it hurts a lot. I mean, I haven't done it. I don't weight lift like that. But was it painful? I sucked not being out here, but was it also painful journey back?
No. I'd say the hardest thing about injuries when you're an athlete is you just wrap your identity so much into what you do on the field. So when you're not out there, it becomes difficult because you don't know, one, what to do, how people view you. I just started worrying about just the things I could control, and that was showing up every day, getting my rehab in, being a good teammate, trying to coach up the young guys. Well, I'm still a young guy, but doing my best to do my 1/11th from the sideline.
What's the next hurdle to go from the individual drills back to the team portion?
Yeah, so right now we're just in a ramp-up period. So over the next 2 weeks, it'll just be more and more. So I've been doing. You guys don't see me, but I was in the indoor for the last 3 weeks, and just grinding in there, trying to get as familiar with contact again as possible. Working in those weird positions I don't want to be in, but just working through those, seeing if those cause pain, and we're progressing really well. So you guys will see me a lot more involved down the road.
I know you had dates set as far as getting back to the practice field, but now that you're there early, is Denver kind of something you have your
as far as I'm concerned, the next 2 games are not on the plate. That's not we're worried about Brazil.
Do you feel confident you can make Brazil?
Without a doubt. I'm not supposed to talk about timelines and stuff like that, but if you see me out there today, you'll see me in Brazil.
Are you full strength? I'm not talking playing wise, as actually physically strong wise. Are you back to full strength?
So yeah, what you do is part of my physical. I was put in several different positions. They use this handheld meter to test my strength in all those positions, and everything was within or above my good arm, within like a 5% threshold of strength or better.
So. Any advice for Zach, or words of wisdom for Zach heading out there today? Or the way around. Any advice from Zach to you? Sorry.
Just cardio. You can't simulate gameplay when you're out there and the bullets are flying. You have to react. Using your full limbs. He just said cardio. So I'm gonna get it in when I can.
When Jordan wasn't practicing, he was telling us that he was in the Hudson Center doing stuff. He was throwing to you, throwing to Jaden briefly, throwing to equipment guys. So when you're working on contact and everybody else is outside, are you running into Flea and Nate, or are you running into to get your physical contact?
There's still plenty of sleds in the indoor. yeah, I've just there's plenty of studs in the indoor.
And I'm trying to make a joke, but in all seriousness, how much were you able to do, and how hard did you go to try and get?
Yeah, so I'm punching and striking things every single day. I set a precedent for myself. Large goal of mine this year, I want to be the best tight end in the outside zone. That's a huge ask, especially in our offense, and I want people to feel confident putting me out there to pass protect, putting me out there to run block, putting me out there to run routes. So I want to get back to playing with an edge again, and I think that the next 2 weeks will allow me to do that. I'm going to just come out every snap, and if I don't feel like I can put my best competitive effort forward, then I'm going to let the staff know we're going to be on the same page. But as far as I'm concerned, I feel great. We're in this ramp-up period right now, and I'm just very excited to get back on the field completely.
When you hear people coming back from like ACL injuries and stuff, they say they're maybe not confident in their knee until maybe they take a hit there. Are you kind of in a similar spot where until you really get a block or get a hit in that you're going to be a little questioning it, or is it not that?
No, I say especially because the training is so different here with the – so my tendon scarred down to 6 weeks with this new Dr. Kardaska and his new surgery. Like I've been working through those hoops, I guess you could say, for a while now. So, little by little, I've gotten to a full strength punch. The only thing I could say is getting out of position. Like this is a spot that you just don't want to be in, and I have braces that'll prevent me from getting there. So the only thing I'm worried about is when I can get back on the field, just being ready to completely pull the pin.
You've had some extra time to reflect on last season. You've really hit a stride, it felt like, towards the end, obviously, with the opportunity from Musgrave getting injured. You were on the field, 80% of the snaps of the offense. How much is that memory of last year, firing you this year to get back out there?
Well, I just I took what opportunity I had and I ran with it. There was a point in the season last year where I had to look myself in the mirror and say, if I'm only going to get opportunities to run block and pass pro, then I'm going to be the best on our team at run block and pass pro. So those opportunities carried through 3 weeks, and my career changed with a flat route. I didn't have to have a coach try to get me open. I got myself open, caught a ball in the flat, turned up. I stepped out of bounds, but it was a play that was able to highlight my athleticism and potential that the impact I can make in this offense. So I'm just still thinking back to those moments too. I'm excited, like I said, to get going again.
Is that your favorite route now, the flat route?
I'm not going to say it's my favorite route, but they're important ones. Everyone is for spacing and timing of the quarterback.
Tucker, how night and day was the confidence for you off that one play? I mean, just being able to put it out there.
Well, what it does is it just it rolls into the next week or the next rep. So that play happened, and you feel juiced up. Your mind. For me, when I hit the field, I try to play at a low number. Like some people play D linemen, linebackers. I don't know. They might play super high now. Scale 1 to 10, they might play to 10. I try to play like a 4. I need to play calm. I need to play with my eyes, so then I can play with my hands and feet. So for me, those big plays, I have to reset myself. I mean, kind of. As my career's progressed and I've came out of a lot more huddles and I've heard the same play multiple times, things have changed. I can play the game within the game, so to say. But yeah, the confidence just rolls. Play to play, week to week, and you got to flush the last play, and then you got to play your next play like it could be your last play. So that's philosophy. Is something I've carried through college from my coach Stiegelmeyer. He's retired now.
Is that going to affect the hurdling anymore? Is that still in the?
That is not a pre-planned thing. More or less. I'm just going to do whatever I can for the team to get yards. That'll be what I am moving forward. If a DB tackles me in the open field, that's because he had the sideline to help him. That's how I am moving forward.
Matt told us that you'll play at least some Saturday. What do you think the benefit is of you and the starters getting some time in preseason?
Yeah, I think just getting back on the field, getting those live reps again, and just getting back that feel of being in the game.
How much do you like that you're getting that opportunity and that first preseason game play, because you don't always see that with starting quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's different, but I'm excited just to be able to get back, get the feel of the season getting started. So get out there, see how long we're out there. But I mean, anytime you get to be on the field, I think it's a good opportunity. Work on things, get better, things like that.
You kind of hoping to go crush this first preseason test, so you don't have to do it in Denver and Baltimore.
Hopefully, yeah.
Is that ideal?
That's the goal.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Did you want to play in this first preseason game? Did you have kind of a say in that, or?
No, I mean, Matt came with kind of what the plan is for the preseason. I agree with how we kind of laid it out. So, I think be able to just go out there, get your feet back wet, and like I said, just get that feel of the live game back, that feeling.
With Ryan's question, is that on the table? If you put in some good work, do you get to sit out in future preseason games the rest of the season?
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully.
Jordan, Tucker didn't really take off till Luke went out last year. With him coming back, what do you think year two can have in store with both of them on the field together?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Obviously, Tucker's been hurt going throughout training camp, but I think just having both of them out there, having both of them on the field at the same time, those are two explosive tight ends where, Tucker really, like you said, made a name for himself at the end of the season just in his playmaking ability. So I think it's, the sky's the limit for both of those guys, and when we have both of them on the field, I think we can do a lot of really cool things with both those guys and put some stress on the defense, and then, have one of those guys vice versa at different times. Will be good to have interchangeability right there with those guys. So it'll be great to have him back.
Jordan, as good as Romeo has been, is it almost like stunning when he actually drops one like he did today? I mean, he's been so consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the great part about Rome is just his consistency, his hands, the way he snags the ball. But at the end of the day, there's going to be plays like that, and I think it's on him to how he responds and is able to bounce back. But things happen. I miss throws, receiver drop passes. It's better to get it out during practice, though, for sure.
You hit 2 scramble plays to your right out of the pocket for big gains today, one to Wicks, one to Watson. How much of an emphasis have you put in your game of growing that passing game when you flush and you get out of the pocket for finding big plays? How much of an emphasis have you put on that?
Not a huge emphasis. I think that's kind of just the part of the game where plays just break down, things go off schedule, and you just got to be a playmaker. Receivers got to find the voids in the defense, the holes, whether they're getting covered, and they can keep working it, or they can just find a hole and sit down. And that's part of my game where I just got to be able to find a lane to get out and keep my eyes downfield and find those guys. But I think it's one of those parts of the game that we're obviously going to continue to grow and work on in practice, because it's just one of those things where it's a feel thing. Receivers got to have a feel of where the open voids are. I got to have a feel of if they're going deep, if they're shutting it down, if they're sitting in a hole. And am I running? Am I keep my eyes downfield to find a receiver? But at the end of the day, I think that's just the off-schedule playmaking ability that I have, and I'm excited to keep building upon. But I think it's not something that you work on and try and emphasize doing in practice, but it just comes about.
You looked more comfortable with those extensions than maybe you have in the past. One, would you agree with that assessment? And two, where does that come from? If that's the case, is that just a confidence thing, or where does that growth come from?
Yeah, I think all of it is confidence. Just building up reps and understanding, having a better feel of where guys are going to be at, and just trusting myself, trusting I'm going to make a good decision with the ball, and trusting my arm ability once I get out the pocket to be able to make throws, but be smart. Not overdo it and try and force the ball into tight windows, or make bad decisions like going back across the middle, things like that. So, but I think all of it is just reps and growing that confidence and understanding you can make certain plays, and you got to make a play here and there to understand. All right, I can test the water a little bit here and try and fit this ball in this window, and make a mistake here and there and be able to learn from that too.
Whether it's a preseason game like Saturday or joint practice the next 2 weeks, what's the value in seeing a different defense in camp before live bullets fly week one?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be very helpful because, I mean, like you said, we've been seeing our defense, and they do a lot of different stuff, but, be able to see different looks, different guys out there, different disguises, as much as we can see before the season is just going to make us better, because, there's so many looks that you don't get to see once you get into a season, and, you try and do scout team and different things to, mimic those looks, but once you get in the game, sometimes it might be your first time running this route versus coverage or versus look. So as many bank reps as we can get before the season starts is going to help us.
How much are you looking forward to the opportunity just to have that sort of game experience and also to be playing away too and get that experience?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I think it's just different, practice versus game, just the feeling, the atmosphere, and just trying to control all those nerves and things like that. So it's something that you can't really mimic in practice. You try to put yourself in the game, but that game feeling is, something that really you can't mimic in practice, I think. So I think it'll be good to be able to get out there.
Your predecessor played 2 decades in the league. By the end of his time here, he wasn't as big a fan of the preseason reps due to some of the vanilla stuff that you'd see from opposing defenses. Obviously, you're still young, but now as a valued asset, it must also be protected. How do you view the reps that you get in a preseason game?
Yeah, it'll be very limited reps, but that's the main thing, is just trying to stay healthy through that part. Not take any unnecessary shots, things like that. But at the same time, like you said, it is very vanilla with the defense you're seeing, but you're going against a new defense, you're going against different guys, so all those looks are valuable in just building what we're doing here.
Jordan, what do you like? I know the reps in 11 on 11 have been limited through Josh Jacobs so far. What do you like best about what he brings to this offense?
I hand the ball off to him, just watch him, the way he's able to get through the holes, find those holes, and his cutting ability in and out of the holes is it's crazy. It's fun to watch, and I'm excited to see him live, because practice is hard to, defense is always saying that they're making these plays, things like that, but just his in and out, the way he's able to find those holes and cut in and out and make guys miss in the hole too. I think once we get some live bullets going and guys are trying to tackle him, I think he's going to be a hard player to tackle.
Jordan, what was it like having Tucker back out there today?
Yeah, it's good. I think it's been tough not having him out there and just trying to build on what we're doing, where we left off last year with him. But, I think getting him back in the mix and just getting a feel for how he runs the routes and it's a different guy. It's a different speed. So just getting him back out there is going to be very beneficial.
I've got a non-football question for you. Talking to a couple of your tailbacks about these personalized handshakes.
Oh, yeah.
What's the process to coming up with a personalized handshake for each guy?
It's one of those things you get out there and we go to our running back individual, our tracks, and you kind of just got to make them up on the fly. If you don't have one with a guy, we'll say, all right, we'll make one later in the locker room, and just trying to come up with something that's cool, something that somebody else doesn't have, maybe a little bit unique. So it's definitely a process to it, and then once you make one, trying to remember it when you get out there and practice is the fun part. But it's fun, it's something that we do to just kind of get that energy going before that period and just have a little fun.
Now, why is it that the offensive line gets some hugs?
Those are my guys. You got to give them hugs, something that, I don't even know how that started, but something that we like doing just to, get that love going.
Have Zach back as a full go today, too. What did that mean for that offensive line group?
Yeah, it's awesome. Zach is, I think, definitely solidified himself and the player he is on that right side. And, just having him back out there is going to be huge. And, keeping him healthy, I think, is a big part, too. But he's a dominant tackle in this league, and he's been locked down. So it's nice to have him back out there holding down that right side.
Jordan, for you individually, what would you consider a successful first preseason?
Going down and scoring quickly. I think that would be nice. Being able to put a drive together, not going 3 and out. Just having a successful drive and scoring a touchdown would be nice.
Hey everybody, it's 3 guys with 3 things from practice number 13. It's amazing how time flies when you're not the one practicing. And at any rate, Mike, you're up.
Well, Larry, we saw the 3rd round rookie linebacker Tyron Hopper take a step forward today. He was getting some reps with the number 1 defense. Now, Edgerrin Cooper, the 2nd round rookie at that position, he's not back into 11 on 11 yet from his hip injury. You could see him actually 40, 50 yards downfield taking the mental reps behind the defense as all of that action was going on. But Hopper made a really nice play in that live tackling period on Saturday night in Lambeau Field, stopping a running back right by the goal line on a short 4th and goal throw. You make plays like that, you get more opportunities. He got some more today. Let's see what he does with it.
Weston.
Larry, so much focus has been on Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, who returned to practice today. Musgrave also had several nice catches on out routes, but it kind of makes you overlook the other tight ends there. And I think a perfect example of that is Tyler Davis, who came here several years ago, became kind of a special teams guy, and now has really made himself himself invaluable in that move tight end role, whether it's the H-back stuff or even some of the things today. I mean, there was one play in particular that stood out to me. He's matched up against Rashawn Gary one-on-one in space, trying to put a hat on one of the top pass rushers in the National Football League. He accomplishes the goal. It gives Jordan Love the necessary time to, I believe, hit Dontavian Wicks during one of the team periods. Tyler Davis has come back from the ACL. I thought has looked really sharp, and a big day for him today.
Guys, overall, I thought it was a good practice. Sometimes, like they haven't really practiced since Saturday night. They had a jog through yesterday. And sometimes when that's the case, practice can start a little sleepy. I thought there was energy out here today. The other thing, I think Brenton Cox is an interesting prospect. Guy's 6'4", 250, free agent last year. Played in a handful of games, like 4 games. But I'll tell you what, the guy's got a pro body and he's got explosive strength. When he gets his hands on folks, I mean, he shocks them.
Yeah.
He doesn't just put his hands there, he shocks them, and had a couple good reps in one-on-one, knocked the ball loose during a team period today, did some good things against the run. Brenton Cox, he's got possibilities. And that's 3 guys with 3 things. See you next time.
And the Green Bay Packers have agreed to a 4-year, $220 million extension that makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah, chopstick came with a large low man, extra clip in it. I ain't got no aim. Ball main, pocket feel fresh, romaine. And I stay with the cash like an exo chain. 5,500, that's your rain. When I go to the club, make a storm hurricane. Pull up, thinking G.I. Joe, man. 762, turn them G.I. James. That Rico and Boo, they be knee-high, man. Now when I look down, you know I can't see my aim. Man, she asked for some rats, gave her 3 times 10. Put her right in the condo, put her in the bin. And I did all of that, no one see her again. And honestly, on the better things, that's a friend. Then groupies, they peons, man. King of my city like Leon, man. Hit of these by Eon, man. She let me touch for the free iron, man. So you know that's a must like Elon, man. They was saying I was spinning, you was saying I'm counting up green like a pea pie, man. I was holding down my team like my name was paid to make sure my brother good Elon, man. Cartier's got diamonds all in the middle like a pulled up with 3 eyes, man. Just know them they all GI, man. Everybody got rollies, that's team time frame.
Danger they both crave when they